computer. Okay, so it's Tuesday, July 12th, 2022, and we're just getting together and my camera's not working. So yeah, I think I'll be ordering a new camera or using my phone next time. So what are you guys thinking? We're starting into this, the Beck diet solution. Hopefully none of you think I'm crazy that I decided that I wanted to share this with all of you guys. And all of you come from different places, and I'm so excited to have you all together. And I'd love to have you guys put in the Facebook group a little bit about you. Maybe how you know me, because there are definitely different people from different places, and we all know each other from different. Some of you guys are on Optavia, some of you are not. It doesn't matter. Again, what I was starting to say when I remembered to record was I'd love to have you guys share what you're thinking about this so far, the first 4 chapters. What's standing out to you? So yeah, come off mute and share. Anybody?
What I thought was great so far is that it does hit home. I mean, we all are from different places, but everything she hits on is things that have ran through my mind of I'll eat something and I'm like, ah, crap, I shouldn't have ate that. And then she talks about, okay, move on. Yep, you did it, move on, which is, nice to know. Don't beat yourself up.
Yep, I love that. It's just so powerful.
And she talks about giving yourself grace. I'm terrible at that. I know that after the last 2 years, that's not something I'm good at, and I have to work at it. That's a hard one for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it sucks you back and makes you go fully backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just skipping, instead of just not eating properly for that one meal.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you a rabbit hole with the rest of the day. So
yes. Yep.
And another thing that I was talking about, you can't do this wrong. Whether you're ahead of us, whether you're behind us, whether you haven't opened the book yet, we're all just doing this together, and it doesn't matter. I'm just proud of you guys for being here. I'm glad that you're here. And yeah, somebody else come off and share. Cherry, it looks like you have your hand raised. Do you want to unmute and say something?
There, I couldn't find the unmute. I'm sorry. That's why I raised my hand. I just got my book yesterday, and I started in the introduction and fell asleep. So, but I bought a second sale book. Mm-hmm. And it had some things underlined in it, and I had glanced at it, and I thought, well, this person thinks the same way I do. The things I've underlined those too. But it's just something that it's all self-talk with me.
Yep.
And I don't know how many tapes I've listened to and everything that, to say nice things to yourself, not your stupid idiot type things. Mm-hmm. Or, so what Nicole had said, that's very true.
Yeah, pretty.
And it's, there's nothing new under the sun. I had to put that in there because Our Lady's Bible Study is doing Ecclesiastes, and I'm going, oh, all the time. So, yeah, it is definitely mindset. You've always told us that, TJ, and that's what it is.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Optavia has definitely changed who I am over the last 7 years. Just it's the best personal development company as I dig deeper and deeper into the
Yeah.
education. And then as you become a coach, they're always throwing out another book, another book, another book. And I've never been any place like that before. I've never been in a place of people who want to be better, want to be more, and want to give back more. So I've just been
Right.
very impressed. Allison, you have your hand up.
I now have to figure out how to get mine down.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
So hi, welcome everyone. I'm glad to be a part of this group, and thank you, TJ, for thinking of me and inviting me to this. You know, I'm not currently on Optavia, but I think that no matter what program we're doing, there's a commonality among this book, because I mean, we all need to eat, obviously. So I think I marked some pages. I'm a teacher, so this is the teacher in me. So I don't know how many of you have the book by you, but I don't always remember some of the things I want to say. So a couple of things I noticed, if you have the book, on page 13, because again, I mean, this is not our first rodeo for any kind of, I guess, program, diet, lifestyle change. So I think a big thing with me is what I say to myself in my head, and the self-sabotage, and just getting that consistency. So one of the things she listed in bullet pointed some things, and some things that struck out to me, I circled under the bullet point. So one of the things she said is, just because I'm hungry, I don't necessarily mean that, I need to eat. I think that's bullet point 3. So, sometimes when that happens, I might just, try to drink from my big thing of water to see, water first. If I'm really hungry, then, I'll know then after I, drink some water. To prepare for sabotage thinking. So prepare in advance. And kind of what the other lady said, I'm sorry, I forget your name, but if you eat something that you shouldn't, it's just a mistake. It doesn't mean that you're hopeless or bad. A lot of times when that happens, I do what it says here, that I make a bigger mistake and continue for the rest of the day and the night and maybe the next day. Just, I think you had a comment one time, TJ, about not slashing all the tires if one tire is flat. So that kind of mentality. And when I haven't started the index cards that they mentioned, and I'll be honest, I haven't gotten to chapter 4, but I have gotten through some of it. When I'm tempted to eat something I shouldn't, I need to put out the list that contains all the reasons why I want to lose weight. So a lot of times when I'm in the moment, it's instant gratification, whether, for whatever reason, I feel like I need to eat XYZ, but to have something to pull out those reasons and remind myself. And then the last thing was on page 18, which was how she mentioned how we don't know how to think like a thin person. So I think that's what I'm really looking forward to in this book. Oh, that's a doorbell.
Somebody's entering the room.
Oh, okay. Because I think that's what it's all about. I'm always thinking like an overweight person. Even when I did lose weight and I was a thin person, I didn't know how to think like a thin person or a healthy, fit person. Mm-hmm. So some of the quotes that she mentioned there, again, these things that I just fool myself. So I think in general, and what the whole basis of the book, which I'm looking forward to with the cognitive therapy, cognitive just is thinking. So it's how we think about everything with food and our health and diet.
Yep, I love that. I love that. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're trying to I love working with Dave Blanchard. One of the things that his son brought to the table is you put your hand out and you slash through the air and hit that hand like an axe. And what that does is we are cutting, we are chopping off that old way of thinking, and we're becoming who we want to become. And I think about that often. In fact, I'll even sometimes when I get so stuck in my head about something, I'll make that motion and I'll hit my other hand and just kind of slash through the air and say, no, that's not who I am. That's not how I think anymore. And I love that it is just helping us do that. And I'll tell you what, those index cards really, really create that, because it's really hard to change the way we think. That's all there is to it. It is hard to change because it's such an ingrained habit. And when you're looking at the when you're looking at neuroplasticity, those old habits just become like a really deep ditch where you just keep running the ditch through it, and you keep running the ditcher through it, and you keep running the ditcher through it. And it takes a whole lot of sediment coming through without the ditcher running through there again and doing it a second time, just to fill those ditches back in and create a different ditch going a different direction. That's what we're trying to do here, is get in there and fill those old ways of thinking. And I know we're not at that point of using the index cards yet, but we're going to start every single day since we're done with chapter 4. We're going to have a habit to learn every single day. And I've been creating an index or a second index, because this is my third time through it, for each day. And each day reading all of my index cards for each day. And it's really helping me change the way I think. And it's so funny. It's not to the point of that's the way I think, but I definitely think about the way that I think, which is crazy. And it is so cool. We have metacognition, which is we are the only critters, drives me crazy not having my face up so that you guys can see me talking. So that we are the only critters that can actually think about our thoughts. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not. Because truthfully, most of us, when we're dealing with this, we're dealing with that animal brain, that lower brain that is just trying to protect us. And I highly recommend that you give that lower brain a name. I feel like having emotions towards it. I call mine Sob because he makes me cry, and he is such a sabotager. But he's the one, we shouldn't be mad at him because he's trying to protect us. He's going to save us when a snake jumps at us. You know, that's his job, is saving us. But the deal is, he overdoes it, and he hasn't matured through the years. So don't necessarily, and I love when I think it was Nicole was talking about, the grace, it's what we do. And we need to really recognize, well, it's what we've always done. And now we're covering up those old ditches, those old ways of thinking, and we're creating something new. So give us a little bit of grace, but at the same time, not enough grace that it becomes an excuse. That's a big one for me. I love to give grace because that's what that's just it. But we have to make sure not to give enough grace that it just becomes an excuse. Oh, well, I did it again. Oh, well. No, we need to start thinking about, okay, well, what happened? What did I want to happen? And what's next? So, all right. Anybody else want to share for a minute, or just tell me kind of what's standing out to you? Otherwise I'll jump in here and do some of my highlighted stuff too, because I really want to kind of see personalities and let everybody kind of get to know you. Anybody?
Hey TJ, it's Jan. I'll comment for a second here. Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you. I know TJ from kind of found her on Facebook, have done Optavia probably 3 or 4 times, and I just started back on it again. Training wise, I'm a nurse, so I feel like I should know what I need to do and do it and just make it a habit. And I just keep falling back. So this book really resonated with me just because it's thinking, it's knowing it to me, it's easy. You should know what you're doing, what it's talking about, how you should act, think away from what you should be doing. But one thing that really came to me was in chapter 2, it talks about the resistance muscle and the giving in muscle. And yeah, and that was something where it's like, okay, yeah, resist something to eat, build tendency to resist it in the future. And then the giving in muscle is giving in and eat something you shouldn't eat. So my thing is always like, okay, I blew it. I ate, a piece of cake or whatever it may be. Well, I'm done for the day. So I'm going to start tomorrow. Well, I'm not going to start tomorrow because tomorrow's Wednesday and I should always do things on Monday.
Yeah.
So, it's just a lot of, I think we know what we need to do. And this book really is just giving us it in a better sense. And I don't know, I'm excited about it. So, and it's nice to meet everybody too. Don't feel alone on this journey.
I love that, Jen. And that's exactly why I wanted, and I don't know, it seems like quite a big group, but realistically, you guys are my first group that I trusted to come in and just be my peeps that helped me through this. Because I know doing it alone just isn't something that you want to do. You are the people that I thought, these people will really appreciate it, for starters. And I figured you would be there with me as I went through this and tried to struggle through this and become who I want to become. And I think I'm going to, dependent on how this goes and how you guys feel that this goes by the end of it, I'm going to want to come back around and maybe give it to people who I don't feel like I have quite as much of a relationship with, so be thinking about, what you think best practices are for this. At the end, I'd love to have you give me nuances. And again, you can come back every single time that I do this. And obviously this is not Optavia. This is just a personal development. This is a book study. Yes, I'm Optavia, but I think all tools are good. And I think this is a fabulous tool, whether you are Optavia or not. So do not feel bad if you're not Optavia. It doesn't matter to me. You guys know me, my heart. I just want to help people. So, and I think this is an incredible tool. And I love what we're stepping into now is we are going to be doing one step a day. And I love that she says some of these, you may be able to do 1 or 2 or 3 steps in a day if you want to, but don't do 1, 2, 3 steps a day, or she calls them days, day 1, day 2, day 3. She says, stop and hesitate where you need to. If you need to stay on one day for 2 or 3 or 4 days and keep repeating because you don't feel like you've really ingrained it, go ahead and stay there. Remember, keep reading your cards from the previous days. But she really encourages us, if you haven't started on a weight loss piece, she says, don't start until day 15, because it's more important to have the tools in your bag before you start. It's like learning how to ride a motorcycle. You don't just jump on the motorcycle and take off on it. You need to kind of have an idea of what you're doing. Okay, well, what tools do I need? I need a helmet. I need maybe some leather in case I hit the ground because I really don't know what I'm doing. You may even want somebody to kind of give you some ideas of what gearing looks like. There's tools that you need before you get on that motorcycle and go. So she encourages us day 15 to really tap in to that next step. So I love that she gives us all of this foundation before she takes us off. And definitely that what Jan was talking about, the all or nothing thinking. It's stinking thinking. It's something I really think it's just such a habit that we've created, and feeling like a failure. And the way that we talk to yourself, be so aware, really watch, stop and think about what am I thinking about myself? What am I thinking to myself? What am I thinking about this food? And I think that's another thing of the awareness that is absolutely incredible in here. In chapter 3, I love that it goes through and talks about all of these characteristics. Oh my gosh. I thought, okay, well, which ones stand out? Well, every one of them stands out to me. I mean, this book is just so me. I mean, I started yo-yo dieting when I was 12. My mom took me to the diet center when I was 12. I'm sure that you guys have stories like that. That, again, I would love to have you go into our Facebook group and just put a little bit about your story. Let us get to know you just a little bit more. Anyways, sorry, I'm kind of a rabbit at 6 a.m. in the morning. So all over the place is what I meant. So you confuse hunger with the desire to eat. Yeah, especially first thing in the morning when I'm drinking coffee and I forget that I'm supposed to drink my water first. Yeah, big time. Yeah, hydration is a terrible one for me. If I can stop and remember, ooh, you need water, 90% of the time, I'm not hungry at all. It's just that I'm dehydrated because I've been sitting here drinking coffee instead of filling up with my water. You know, you have a low tolerance for hunger and cravings. Yeah, don't dwell on these feelings. Generally, they don't think that much about food at all. I love that thin people. I love a huge awareness. One time we went out dancing one evening and there was this place where there were street tacos, and we sat down, and of course I ate until mine were gone, and there was this gal that came up and she had a plate of them and she took like 2 bites. She went over, talked some French, she came back, she had like 2 bites, and she wandered around, and I mean, they were really good tacos, right? And by the end of the evening, she still had half of her tacos sitting there. And I remember thinking, that's who I want to be. I want to be a person that doesn't have food crazies. And now that I think about it, it's not food crazies, it's thinking crazies. That's what I have. I think too much. So anyways, let's see. You like the feeling of being full, which I've found, because I don't know if all of you know this, but I have what's called binge eating disorder. And so that's something that I've dealt with for, well, I never knew what it was until I came to Optavia, and they opened up my awareness. Again, that's personal development. I know more about me than I probably want to sometimes. But binge eating disorder, once you hit that stage of full, it's like this trigger where you just can't quit eating, which is ridiculous, absolutely and completely ridiculous. Because I mean, if you're full, wouldn't you think that that would tell you to stop? No, it doesn't. It makes you even more food crazy. So this one is huge. You like the feeling of being full? Nope. So that one was kind of, you fool yourself about how much you eat. I hear this all the time when I talk to people. It's like, oh, I don't eat that much. I don't eat that much. Well, let's not worry about that and move on. I know that I eat too much, so that one wasn't too much for me. And then it also talks about, could you have an eating disorder? Recognize that this one will not go deep if you have an eating disorder. I think I'm past the binge eating far enough that I don't think that I would consider that. And she doesn't even talk about binge eating disorder, because I never even realized, yeah, a lot of people don't even realize that that's like anorexia or bulimia. It's just a different direction. So you comfort yourself with food. That's a big one with Optavia. Comfort yourself with food. What are your comfort foods? I love Optavia has shifted that in my brain from comfort foods to discomfort foods. I've really shifted that, and I love that. When I look at things now, instead of looking at them and going, oh, that would taste so good, you know, I now think, oh my gosh, my gut will be heavy. I will need a nap, and I will hate myself in my brain because I've eaten it. And that has been just such a huge, huge one that Optavia has definitely helped me with. They're no longer comfort foods. You feel helpless and hopeless when you gain weight. That one, I hate the scale, because if I get on it, if I've been good and it goes up, it's just like, throw your hands in the air and like we talked about, slash all of your tires because one of them went flat, instead of getting it fixed, getting back on the journey. I mean, really? You focus on issues of unfairness. This one also, Optavia has totally changed my mindset with focus on issues of, but they can eat. And she does a great job of showing us what then people think. And then you stop dieting once you lose the weight. Yep, been there, done that. Oh, Allison, you have your hand up.
Hi.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask, because it's the first one, like if we could, I don't know if you want to keep it to a Facebook thing, but just where people can kind of just introduce themselves so we can get, know who we are and why we're there, just as we open up about all of this. I don't know if everyone would be willing to do it here or just want to keep it to a Facebook thing.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Let's see, 6:30. Okay, yeah, let's run through it really quick. I am going to try to keep this to about 30 minutes usually, guys. And I do want to invite you. Actually, Paulette, could you go and pick up the information for the WinZoom and put it in the chat for people? We do have a WinZoom with Optavia that you don't necessarily have to be on Optavia, but I'll tell you what, every morning at, I'll say 6:45 Pacific, we do have a 15-minute group that meets with our team. I think that most of you that are striving for a little bit something more would love and enjoy that. You can jump on live, you can jump on and just listen if you're going places. It's called the WIN. It's Wellness Integration Now. It gives you 5 minutes of lesson. It's a crazy lady that's teaching it this week. You'll probably really enjoy her. Gwen's a nut. 5 minutes of teaching, supposed to be 5 minutes of wins, people coming off and giving wins, and then 5 minutes of deep breathing. A lot of times Gwen actually runs all the way through those. So, but she's really fun. So I'll go ahead and start here. So most of you guys know me. I've started yo-yo dieting when I was 12 and tried every diet in the plan. 7 years ago, my health coach found me. And she changed my life. I had been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. I've been off of medication for the last 7 years and been thriving. I had 3 grandchildren through that time, and most of my pictures as they were little were on the floor with them. That was so powerful. So that's my diet journey. Personally, I'm a mom, a wife, have again 2 daughters, 3 grandkids, love life. Optavia has changed my world. I'm now no longer tied to a business. I can do my business from anywhere. And Kevin came home in November, and we are loving this life and just really appreciate all of you guys being here with me. So who else wants to come off?
I met TJ through Kevin. I used to work with Kevin when he worked with me. He left me. And I I had gone through chemo treatment last year and radiation, and I went in for a checkup, and I had stepped on the scale, and I was the heaviest I'd ever been. I was just under 300 pounds, and I had met TJ like the week prior, and she had told me I was like, I need some help here. I can't do this.
Mhm.
And so with TJ's help, I've lost about, I don't know, teeter-tottering between like 30, 40 pounds. And I got to a certain point and I was like, I'm stuck. And so TJ and I are trying to unstick me. And this book is like really,
Yep.
this book is really hitting home.
Love it.
We have one son, he's 19, he's in college. My husband and I work at, we're just your normal family.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Who else would like to share?
But I have to go.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you, Nicole.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, let's see. Allison, go ahead. Oh, maybe Jen. Oh, and Shiona are all unmuted. Jump in here.
Is it okay if I go real quick, TJ? I've got to jump to a meeting too.
Yep, please do.
So like I said, everybody, nurse at heart, have been a nurse for a long time. I live in Illinois. I work for a Medicare Advantage company, so a lot of stress with my position, compliance, so making sure that our company stays up and up with all of the regulations related to CMS. Personally married, second marriage, I was divorced and went through a lot of verbal and physical abuse with my first husband. So it's taken me a lot to build myself up to be able to just acknowledge things and, stand up for myself. Have a wonderful, husband at this time, 3 children, all grown out of the house, 2 grandchildren. And just really want to build a good foundation to be able to live healthier, be more confident, and know the food that I'm putting in is going to give back to me that healthy lifestyle. So I do have to go. I'm sorry. If everybody could maybe just post on Facebook their history too. And I guess TJ, next steps will be posted on there too.
Yep, exactly. I'll get it
All right.
posted.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All
Good
right.
morning, everybody. This is Shiona.
Hi.
Sorry I was late to the party. I couldn't figure out how to join in. I met TJ through Kevin. We actually, my husband and I ride for a motorcycle ministry called Bikers for Christ. And Kevin joined us one day for lunch, and that's how we in turn met TJ. Recording weight's always a struggle. It's that yo-yo, you lose some weight and you gain it back. Dan mentioned on Facebook how it was just like speaking directly to you, and what I read in the first 4 chapters, it was kind of scary in a way, like, oh my gosh, she's in my head, she knows my thoughts. So I'm really looking forward to the journey. I'm a pastor's wife. Currently work as a long-term care ombudsman, but I'm switching gears and I'm going back into the school setting in August to be in the classroom. So I'm looking forward to that. Have 4 kiddos. We're a blended family. We've got 4 grandkids and 1 due in October. I've never done Optavia. I was actually gonna health coach with TJ, and life just got a little crazy. So I'm hoping maybe at some point to get back into that. I'm looking forward to this journey with everybody. I do see Wendy. Hi, Wendy. Nice to see you. But looking forward to this journey with everybody and growing and just seeing how much we can all accomplish.
Love that. Absolutely love that. All righty. Kim, it looks like you're unmuted. No?
Well, can you see me now?
Oh, that's a different camera. I didn't see that one.
Is there more than one Kim?
Yep, you have 2 cameras on.
Oh, I could tell you why, but I will just cut to the chase here. I met TJ, a couple of years ago, her and my husband went to high school together, and Casey's like, I think you might be a little interested in what TJ's been posting on Facebook. And I was. And so TJ introduced me to Optavia. I've just loved growing with her over the last couple of years, and I'm excited for the book study. I'm a school nurse, and so I have the summers off and getting ready to gear back up and go back to work. And we're also a blended family. We have 4 kids. I've got 2 grandkids and 1 on the way in August, just 4 short weeks away. So we're excited for that. And yeah, I think that's it. Thanks.
Thanks, Kim. I'm sitting here talking and I muted myself. All righty. Wendy?
See if I can figure out how to unmute. Boy, I don't know where to start. Steve and I got married. We were high school sweethearts, and we've been married for over 40 years. We've got 3 kids and 1 grandson who is just the love of my heart. I didn't have a weight problem until I turned about 40, and at that point started gaining, and I've tried a lot of different diets, and I tried Optavia for a while, did really well on it. And we went on a vacation, and I just lost all of my willpower to start back up. And so I'm hoping that this will help get me going again. I need to lose weight. I'm getting to the point where it's hard to do things. I get out of breath. I'm just at a point where for my health, I've got to do something. And I really appreciate you starting this and inviting me, TJ.
And I'm talking to you there. Thanks, Wendy. Thanks for joining us or for coming along for the ride. All right, who's next? Let's see.
I'll share because I was the one that started this.
There you are.
I'm Allison. I am in South Florida. I'm a first grade teacher. I'm also on my second marriage. I have a 17-year-old daughter who will be a senior in high school. And on and off, I think always, growing up kind of average weight. And then had issues with food and issues throughout my adult life. Now, last year turning 50, what I used to do doesn't always work for me anymore. So it's a lot harder for me to lose. But I'm also someone who gets in her head a lot. So I think this group in this book, I'm really looking forward to having helped me with that. Being a teacher and having the summers off, I seem to really get every summer, I kind of get myself together again, and then school starts and life gets more hectic and I forget about myself. So it's kind of been that cycle where I really want to stop that. I want to continue what I do during the summers to take care of myself for a lot of different reasons, for self-esteem, confidence, and my health. My mother passed away very young. She was only 62 and had a lot of health problems from being very overweight and diabetic, and had cancer and heart disease and other things. And again, now that I'm getting older, I'm just starting to, I guess, make that connection that besides just vanity and wanting to wear, the cute clothes and things like that. I mean, I live in Florida, it's so hot, and I don't think I've worn shorts in, I don't know, at least 5 years, maybe, because I don't feel comfortable with myself. So, so I'm just, again, just trying to have a positive outlook, and just keeping the momentum going when school starts in a few weeks, since my summer's taking care of myself has been going well. And thanks, TJ, for the group and everyone for being part of it.
Yay, thank you. Charlotte?
Good morning, TJ. I have reached my goal weight at this time, but I'm looking to eat healthy, maintain what I've got. I was married for 52 years. My husband passed away last August. And my oldest daughter passed away 4 weeks later. So this has been a year for me to figure out who I am. I don't know if any of you have lost a spouse, but you have to figure out who you are all over again. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm doing a lot of work on me, and this just seems to fit right in. So that's my story.
That's beautiful, Charlotte. Thank you for sharing that. Sherry, you want to go real quick and then we'll pop over to the win. Oh, you're muted.
Okay, there, I got it. Okay. I've known TJ, what, 4 years now, 5 years? Optavia, most of those years. And I lost 97 pounds, never got clear down to my goal weight, but when I joined Optavia, my husband had just passed away, and that was a really good time to me to find out exactly who I was and what I needed to be doing and such too. And I had been a caregiver with my husband for quite a while, and you don't think about yourself. And I had really let my weight get away from me. And I just find out now that I've gained, probably 80 pounds of it back in the last 2 years. When I went to my doctor for my last checkup, she said, I can't say a word to you, because she had gained weight also. And I just, this last 2 years with this COVID thing which I didn't let it scare me or anything, but you couldn't do things, and you just shut you down. And I didn't like the attitudes of everything. And it was just an awful feeling. And I just reverted to reading a lot of books. And I think in the last 2 years, I read at least 300 books. And that's all I've done.
Wow, that's crazy, Cherry. That's good. That's what it takes.
Yeah, but TJ, and it's been, I mean, I've been really enlightened about a lot of things. And I've read people ask me, they say, what have you read? They go, anything and everything. Get into series. No, anyway, that's just been my life the last 2 years. And
that's super good. And that's what it takes. It's just really
right. And I'm 77 years old, and I've always been a healthy fat person. How's that sound? Because I've not had all these diseases. I mean, all my numbers are always good when I'm at the doctor and everything. And so I have all these good advantages of a healthy body, except being fat. So, and you know, it's just, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
And I have struggled with my weight most of my life also. So anyway, I'll just see what I can do here and try. I'll have to, like I said, I just got my book yesterday, and I got the workbook also. So I have to figure out how that works in too. So.
Awesome. Okay, guys, they are going in the other Zoom for the Wen Zoom if you want to join us. And it is a great another piece of the puzzle. So,
okay.
And I'll post this recording, and I'll set up a post that'll tell you kind of what's the next step. So, all righty. Remember, don't beat yourself up if you're not right where we're at, whether you're ahead of us or behind us. You're right where you're supposed to be. So, all right. Talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.